Beauty from Red as Blood by Tanith Lee is the last short story in the collection. It is listed as Beauty, Earth, the Future. With a name like that, I don't think any of us have any doubt what the retelling is of. Obviously, we're talking about Beauty and the Beast here, and obviously Tanith Lee is going to do a whole new thing that no one expected. So Beauty and the Beast retellings are, and refilmings for that matter, are ubiquitous. There's dozens of them. Nearly everyone has done, who's into fairy tale retellings, has done at least one Beauty and the Beast. In the case of Robin McKinnon, an author I like very much and is over there, she did two. She did one when she was young, my preferred one, and then when she was older she came back and revisited it. Tanith Lee also visited it with her own unique and ubiquitous style. Is it ubiquitous? I'm not sure. Unique style. So this compilation, it's the last one in it, and it is also the last one I have read, though I've been reading them out of order. They move up from the last century BC, that's the first one, Pied Piper, which I should be discussing with Chris and Rob fairly soon, up to through the 19th, 20th century, up to the future. So obviously this is science fiction because it's the future. I have an attack bird. I don't know why he's attacked some today, but I am a bad person and I must be attacked, clearly. Future. I may be unusual in that I feel that Tanith Lee's best writing was her science fiction stuff. I love her fantasy, I love her horror, I love her swampy gothic weirdnesses that aren't anything in particular but a bit of everything. I've never read a Tanith Lee that I actually disliked, but to my mind, when she does science fiction, something unique comes out of it that is very much catnip to Deb the Omnivorous Reader. That's the best I can say. So Drink Sapphire Wine and Don't Bite the Sun were two of my early Tanith Lees. I thought they were fantastic. I liked them better than Volkova and some of her more famous ones. Then along came The Silver Metal Lover, that I think is one of the best books that she wrote in the latter part of her career. Beauty is science fiction. It was written in I believe it was first written for this compilation and first published in 1983, I believe. I'm not sure that it has been published anywhere else. And it's beauty and it's the future. So we start with a rich merchant who's returning from a voyage to his home planet. We don't initially learn it's Earth, but it is. And when he reaches the customs airport, spaceport, whatever, customs gently take him aside and eventually give him a rose that is this moment of overwhelming breakingness. We don't know what that rose means for a while. I mean, we, the readers of this story, don't know. We, the more sophisticated readers of many, many books, know what a rose means in Beauty and the Beast. So the merchant goes home, and Tanith describes his futuristic... What are you eating? That's why you're an attack bird. You're eating things you're not meant to. She describes his futuristic home, and it's quite beautiful. It's a very languid beauty, and the same beauty of writing that you get there, I think, is very common to Don't Bite the Sun and Drinking Sapphire Wine. The merchant has 3 daughters, and we are given these light touches of future society in that of these daughters, only one of them is of his body, and her mother doesn't live with the merchant. The other 2 are his daughters in other ways, and they're part of this ongoing family. He reaches home on his birthday knowing that a celebration has been planned for him, but comes in dreading it and in horror because he knows what the rose means. And the slow reveal of what the rose means in this book is fantastic. It's this green, long-stemmed rose, which he knows from hearing about them, he can't do anything to get rid of. If he throws it away, it'll reappear in his house. If he throws it into the fire, it will survive. They might change slightly, but they never die, no matter how much the people try to make them die. Because what the rose means is that he's going to lose one of his 3 daughters. Many years ago now, I'm pretty sure over 100, aliens came to Earth and made first contact. They were gentle, inoffensive, diffident. They offered all this amazing machinery and science that helped build this futuristic technology in which the merchant, Levin, I think his name is, lives. And they asked nothing in return except that a few of them, not very many, lived in isolated locations away from humanity. They never show their face to humanity. The rumour goes that they're so indescribably ugly that humans can't bear it, so they always appear fully suited with a helmet on. And they've got these enclaves, not very many of them, in remote places where humans don't visit. This is a very heavily automated society and mechanized, and a lot of the overall comfort due to machinery that you get from drinking sapphire wine and Don't Bite the Sun is here. You don't have the bee boo, but you do have a talking bead floating, which is very much Tanith Lee's prescience of how much the mobile phone was going to mean to us, in my personal opinion. Now, of the 3 daughters, the merchant gives it to his biological daughter, and because he somehow knows that that's the one it's for. The other 2 it couldn't possibly be for. And the whole family mourns when it's given, because it's been happening for all these years. The first one, roses, were sent out, I think, 70 years ago, and there have been a couple of other waves. And each time, the child of Earth, to which this, always a son or a daughter, it could be either, to which the rose is given, goes to live with one of the aliens, and they are not sequestered from their family. They come back and visit, but slowly over time they become sadder and sadder until finally the visits stop and their Earth families see this growing desolation in them. So the family are horrified. The daughter in question, whose name is something beginning with E. We could just call her Beauty. That'd probably be easier, but it's not. She's got a real name. It's like Esther, but not. Esther. It is Esther. And it's got a strange little wobbly thing over the T. Esther? Esther. Well, something. So she goes off and she lives with this alien, and this is very much a Beauty and the Beast scenario. You've got the magical castle, only it's mechanized. You've got gardens. You've got all the things, and eventually she starts to talk to the Beast, the alien. And these discussions are ongoing, and you see the slow turning in her emotions as these progress. And she does go to visit her father and sisters a couple of times, and she always comes back. And then you have got the coming to the point where she wants to see this hideousness. And what he does is he says, well, you know, there's a lot of telepathy happening here too, by the way. He says, you know, I always swim in the morning. Obviously, I swim with nothing on. I don't swim. If you choose to, you can come and watch. The automated talking bead machine will bring you to me, and then you will see. And she does. But Tanith Lee doesn't tell us what she sees. She sees something, and she goes back to her apartment and straight away asks to go and stay with her father in her childhood home. And she does that. She sleeps and she sleeps, and she finally gets up. And she's obviously going through something significant. And one of her sisters in a previous visit had said, you're falling in love with him, aren't you? You need to see him for what he is. So there's all that. And this is a funny story. When I first started reading it, I went, Tanith Lee science fiction, I'm all in. And I was. And then it seemed to go down for a bit. And it's like, oh, okay, well, it's a bit more fantasy. And I'm not sure that I like where this Beauty and the Beast retelling is going as much as some of the other ones. But I kept going, and then it was like, wow. So this was a real roller coaster of a ride. Totally roller coaster. The ending, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. But either way, you're going to think it's weird, and you're going to go, no one but Tanith Lee could do that. But it's spoiler in a big way, and you should read this story first. So this is the no spoilers edition. Go away, read this story. I think you need to read it in red as blood. But maybe it's online somewhere. In any case, read the story, come back tomorrow, and we'll talk, because I'm not discussing that ending with someone who hasn't actually read it. And if you're watching this video, it's easy to just keep watching and not read it first. So read it first, come back tomorrow, and we'll chat. Bye.